As much as we'd like to imagine Randy Orton RKOing annoying cashiers in a supermarket in real life, most WWE heels tend to drop their characters the minute they step out of an arena in this day and age. For a time, this dropping of the act was seen as a monumental no-no in the world of professional wrestling, but in an era now rife with reality TV shows, behind-the-scenes documentaries, and social media posts galore, breaking kayfabe has become about as commonplace as a super kick to the jaw. This isn't necessarily an entirely awful thing though, as fans are now given a chance to get to know the genuine and sometimes rather lovely folks behind the on-screen villains they see on WWE's weekly in-ring shows. I'm Gareth from What Culture Wrestling, and here are 10 WWE heels that are real-life babyfaces. Number 10. Dolph Ziggler spends $1,001 on a cameo video. Though he can regularly be found acting like an obnoxious prick whenever he pops up on WWE television at this moment in time, it is worth remembering that Dolph Ziggler is actually a rather swell guy. If you need an example of the lighter side of Nick Nemeth, then look no further than his recent decision to send fellow wrestler Mad Kurt an incredibly generous fee for a personalized video on his cameo, coughing up a whopping $1,001 for his personalized clip from Kurt after the wrestler had reached out to Nemeth in response to a tweet from the WWE star asking for links to small businesses that could use some help today. This move made Kurt the wrestler with the most expensive cameo ever. Take that, dead man. Ziggler's here to show the world he's not such a bad guy after all. Number 9. The Miz buys WWE writers dinner. Even if you've only ever caught glimpses of Miz and Mrs. in passing, you'll likely still know that Mike the Miz Mizanin isn't actually a monumental idiot like the one he plays on either Raw or SmackDown. And if you didn't, well, now you do. However, Miz has actually been playing the babyface off-screen for years, long before WWE decided to throw him and Maurice into the reality TV spotlight. Back in 2012, the star had just taken part in a Team Johnny Laurinaitis versus Team Teddy Long match at WrestleMania 28, when he became aware that Maurice would not be allowed to attend the post-Mania after-party. Not long after this, the A-lister was informed that the writers were also not able to attend, so he decided to take them and his future wife out for dinner. After spending a decent portion of his WWE career on the outside looking in, Miz clearly understood what the writers in particular were going through at this moment, and did what he felt was right at the time. Number 8. Brock Lesnar's charity work and willingness to pose with fans. Though most people would have you believe that the former UFC heavyweight champion is simply a big red ball of fury and suplexes, Brock Lesnar isn't actually as cold and detached in real life as he appears on WWE programming. It seems like the star doesn't really mind interacting with fans outside of the WWE bubble. He'll even pose for a photo with you, provided you ask nicely, of course. It is still Brock Lesnar. On top of this, the freak athlete has also been happy to do his part on the charity front over the years too. He's regularly been spotted taking part in Make-A-Wishes, always going the extra mile to make the experience memorable for the children he meets. If all that doesn't convince you that Lesnar is actually a decent dude away from the squared circle, then just take a look at his stint as an ESPN security guard. In this light-hearted setup, Lesnar breezily interacts with various ESPN employees, and he even ended up serving breakfast in the cafeteria at another point down the line. At least he has a few alternate avenues to explore post-wrestling, eh? Number 7. Randy Orton, Family Man. There was a time when it seemed like Randy Orton was destined to become another arrogant a-hole who wasted his limitless potential in the ring through his partying and sheer childishness backstage. However, as time went by and the star matured as both an athlete and a human being, Orton became not just a leader in the locker room, but also a fairly likable human being. On top of seemingly getting over his tendency to be a massive pain in the ass with fans, for the most part, Orton has also revealed himself to be a loving and dedicated father and husband through his personal Instagram account. Though he still possesses the ability to snap at folks who insist on provoking the legend killer online, Orton has come a long way since his debut in 2002, and seems to have finally given up trying to live his real life like a heel. Thank God. Number 6. Baron Corbin comforts his family after a dark match. As one of the only pure heels capable of eliciting a constant stream of authentic boos in WWE today, Baron Corbin can rarely be found dropping his guard or playing up to his fans whenever he pops up on our screens. However, just because he's committed to being an annoying menace on either Raw or SmackDown, doesn't mean there isn't a heart of gold under that villainous exterior. After an episode of SmackDown in 2017, Corbin took on Shinsuke Nakamura in a dark match in front of those watching in the arena. As you'd expect, the heelish Corbin was eventually defeated by SmackDown's then most exciting newcomer. How times have changed. Yet what happened next clearly wasn't part of the night's or Corbin's usual script. Spotting a fan who was clearly upset at the result, the towering bad guy wandered on over and picked up the youngster. In footage captured by a fan in the arena, Corbin could then be spotted gifting the child his shirt before posing for a few photos. Corbin did try to cover his tracks by stating that he was merely looking out for a family member on the night, and would not do the same for another random fan. But we'd seen enough to suggest that this main roster bully wasn't as heartless in real life as he'd have us believe he was on weekly television. What a lovely lone wolf. Number 5. Nia Jax fights against teenage bullying. On WWE television, Nia Jax can regularly be found bullying various stars on Monday Night Raw either verbally or physically. Yet outside of the ring, Jax has actually often used her status as a WWE superstar to tackle that very same issue. The most recent case of her doing this went down when the former Raw Women's Champion took part in a What Would You Do interview in August, which focused on teen bullying. Hiding in the back of a truck, Jax watched on as a group of actors played out a scene involving a young girl being picked on in public. Passers-by then reacted to the scenario, with one couple even threatening to phone the police if the bullies didn't cease their abuse. After this, the WWE star opened up about her own experiences being bullied. Jax reminded the girls taking part in the scene that being different is beautiful, proving that there is most definitely a difference between the irresistible force we see terrorizing Raw and the real-life person who has overcome great difficulty to get where she is right now. Now can you please just stop bullying Lana? Number 4. Roman Reigns makes wishes come true. He may be ruling over SmackDown with an iron fist at this moment in time, but that has not stopped your Universal Champion Roman Reigns being the absolute hero he undoubtedly is away from the squared circle. With the star himself battling against a life-threatening illness in recent times, Reigns clearly feels he has a duty to try and help others going through similar situations, regardless of whether he's playing a heel or face on WWE television. This was evident during a recent Zoom call through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which saw the tribal chief sharing some time with a young fan currently fighting cancer. This face of the company is still determined to brighten the days of those experiencing hard times. We salute you, Roman. Just don't kill us. Number 3. Charlotte Flair mentors the future. Though Charlotte Flair has flirted between being a self-indulgent heel and passionate babyface throughout her WWE career, her most notable work has undoubtedly come whilst playing the villain inside of the ring. However, the real-life Flair, away from all of the lights and the extravagant gowns, couldn't be further from this evil queen of the ropes. As well as regularly appearing at fan events, meet and greets, and various Make-A-Wishes, Flair is also known to be something of a trusted mentor to her colleagues. Current Firefly Funhouse member Alexa Bliss noted how Flair looked after her upon arriving at WWE's Performance Center. And another regular fixture of WWE programming in 2020, Mandy Rose, has also stated how Flair helped her out during their time together on SmackDown. Though some may argue that Flair's constant presence on all 3 brands earlier this year pulled the spotlight away from other women in the company, it's obvious that the former Raw, SmackDown, and NXT Women's Champion is more than happy to help elevate her co-workers, and can be counted on as a trusty pal when needed too. Number 2. Sami Zayn more than a great liberator. Do not let his current consistently entertaining and intentionally irritating great liberator persona fool you. Sami Zayn is one of the good ones, folks. From the minute he found himself in a position to make a difference and change the world for the better, the former El Generico did exactly that through his social media accounts and various projects away from the land of WWE. Most recently, Zayn has launched a mobile clinic in Syria under the name of #SamiForSyria. with the aim being to provide medical aid to people in need in the war-torn country. As Zayn is of Syrian descent himself, this cause is clearly close to his heart, and the current Intercontinental Champion could not hide his joy when he received recent figures highlighting how the clinic had helped people. This, along with his regular calling out of injustice and inequality in the world on social media, has cemented Zayn as arguably wrestling's #1 real-life babyface. We love you, Sami, never change. Number 1. Mustafa Ali leads by example. Fans were crying out for the ultra-talented Mustafa Ali to be used consistently on the main roster. Then, after suddenly going missing towards the end of 2019 and finally resurfacing in July 2020, the natural babyface was eventually revealed as the brains behind the uninspiring Monday Night Raw heel faction known as Retribution. Away from being an on-screen villain though, Ali is about as awesome a human being as they come. On top of always promoting a number of charities, and whatever other charitable organizations his fellow in-ring performers are involved in online, the star also gave the money he earned from the controversial 2019 Super Showdown and Crown Jewel events to the charity water organization. Ali has also had to deal with a disgusting amount of racist abuse from individuals online, yet he uses his platform to expose these vile acts and inspire his fans to kick racism and hate out of their daily lives altogether. Oh, and when a young kid couldn't find a Mustafa Ali costume to wear for Halloween, the star only went and sent him one himself. Mr. Ali, you, my friend, are a rather amazing person, so we'll forgive all the Retribution nonsense, yeah? And that's our list. Know of any other WWE heels that are real-life babyfaces? Let us know all about them in the comments section below, and do not forget to like, share, and click on that subscribe button. I've been Gareth from What Culture Wrestling. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon.